Okay, so I thought I'd continue to live the dream on a Monday morning. Look at trigonometry. Absolutely love trigonometry, one of my favourite things. Okay, I think it scares a lot of people off, but actually it's got structure, it's got method. Actually, it's a lot easier than you think. So, first thing you need to remember is your letters, and I would always write this at the start of each question. So put your soccer toe up. Okay, and then on this one, we're looking for the missing angle. Okay, so you've got your little acorn sign, which is the angle I'm looking for. So, first of all, what we're going to think about is putting our O, our H, and our A in. So, O stands for opposite, and it's opposite the angle that we're looking for. Okay, this only works, this formula, with right angle triangles, you see. So don't get confused, because there will be a right angle on the question, but it's not that angle we're going opposite. It's this, the other one that we're looking for or we've been given. So O is the side opposite it, so this one here. Okay, then I've got H, which is my hypotenuse, which obviously is opposite the right angle and is the longest one to diagonal, so this is my H. And then A stands for adjacent. Adjacent means next to, and it's the one next to the angle. Okay, so I've labelled my sides, my O, H and A. Sorry. Okay. Then I look, which of these three sides actually isn't giving me anything? Which one gives me no information, doesn't help me? Well, actually, these two I've got numbers. A gives me no help at all, so I'm going to get rid of A. So I look at my SOHCAHTOA and I think, right, which one's got A in that I don't need? So I'm going to get rid of cos, and I'm going to get rid of tan. Okay, so it means I'm going to use sin or sine. Some of my pupils in my class love that they prefer to call it sin because it just sounds a bit dark. Okay, so we write in, we put our sin or sine, and we don't know what the angle is, so we put our little acorn in, equals, now we've got OH, which means opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, once again we put our sin in, and our opposite, so we substitute it in, our O was 9.4, our H was 12.3. This is actually a really lovely one to do. Now, when we're looking at angles, we use the inverse on our calculator. So you might see that it looks like a -1 and equals 9.4 divided by 12.3. So on my calculator, and I've got an absolute classic here. Okay, so as we look, we have got our sin or sine, cos, tan buttons. If we wanted to use them normally, we'd just push them. But for this one, we're going to have to use shift. So I've got shift and sin brings me to the -1. Then I know some people would put fractions in, but I sometimes find the fraction buttons don't always work particularly well on the calculators when you're having to move the cursors around. Okay, so what I'm going to put in is the 9.4 divided by the 12.3, close my brackets. This is what it's going to look like on your calculator, and then I push my equals, which gives me 49.83832. Okay, so we're just going to do it to a 1 decimal place. So if we look, that would be 49.8. Okay, so then my answer would be 49.8 degrees. Now remember your units, really important. We're measuring angles. Okay, so you need your degrees and your angle. And actually, if we have a look at it, 49.8 to me looks a reasonable answer. Okay. If you had something that was probably going over 90 or larger, then you're thinking, well, that's a bit wrong. I've already got a right angle. I'm not going to have another right angle. It's going to be a very weird looking triangle. Okay, right, let me give you one to do. Let's use my jumper again. So we'll rub these out. Okay, so we're just going to leave that one where it is, but I'm going to change where the numbers are and everything. Okay, so we're going to have, and let's go for this one. It's going to have to be longer. Okay, so pause the video. Don't forget, SOHCAHTOA, label your side to start with. Pause the video and then come back for a solution. Okay, so you should have put your SOHCAHTOA in. And then label your sides. So once again, this is my opposite, my hypotenuse, my adjacent. Now this time the O is redundant, he's not needed. So I'm going to get rid of everything with an O in it. and I've been left with C, so I've been left with cos. So cos, we don't know the angle, and then A over H, so adjacent over hypotenuse. So cos, so might as well we substitute in A is 14.6, H is 17.5, and that says equals, but absolutely. Okay, and then we go on to your calculator, you post shift and cos, and then I do 14.6 divided by 17.5, close my bracket, so it should look something like this on your calculator, equals 33.4584. So we do it to one decimal place, so if I cover this up, I have a look at the number behind, it's a 5, so that means my 4 is going to go up, so it's 33.5 degrees is what you should have got in your answer.